All right, bet. So yeah, definitely sign up for Syed's Substack. The link, I'll put the link in the description below. That shit is fire, man. I'm telling you, that Bucks article, I was reading that. I'm like, yo, your stat muse on the Bucks was crazy. The comparison from last year to this year. Further elaborate on it because I noticed you had stated like their defensive win shares and just overall like they have a lot of holes in that roster, man. Just
Bro,
it's
it's
too
just
many
defensive
holes.
holes, bro. It's defensive holes. When your backcourt's as offensively talented, right? Obviously, Damian Lillard, what more can we say about him, dog? He's one of the greatest scorers we ever seen, right? Along
Mm-hmm.
with Malik Beasley, who's a career solid shooter. They don't have defense.
Nope.
It's gonna affect them long term. It's gonna affect them in the playoffs when you're going against the Boston Celtics, when you're going against the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers. These are very backcourt heavy teams.
Correct. And also, who's rebounding for them in the front courts? Because Chris Middleton right
It's
now,
only
he's not
Giannis.
really the same. Is
No,
Giannis?
Middleton is done, man. He's at this point now where
Mm-hmm.
he might be at best a Harrison Barnes caliber player. I don't see him ever reaching that All Star caliber anymore.
Yeah, me neither. But even beyond Chris Middleton, because they already knew what was going on with him before they made that Drew Holiday trade. The fact that they
And
made
they
the Drew,
extended him, bro.
yeah,
He's
they
there
extended him,
long
but
term.
hold on, let me cook. Let me just say this: they extended him, right, or whatever. But the fact that Drew Holiday ended up back with Boston, I think that's something that they did not foresee. Like that's
No,
killing
I
them right
thought
now.
they thought he would be in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously Drew was able to pull his strings. I think for them it was like they wanted Drew in the West in order to avoid that competition. Now he's in the East. We talk about the Boston Celtics, man. What position aren't they stacked in? So that's obviously one team that they're like, oh fuck, it bit them in the ass.
Correct, but let me ask you a question: do you think that they would have made the Dame trade had they known that Drew Holiday would end up with their rivals?
No, hell no.
Yeah, like that's
You're better off with
that,
Drew Holiday.
and that's the reason why the Dame trade is a problem.
Yeah, because look, Drew Holiday, he's a borderline all star to all star player, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he evens the playing field. Right now, the playing field isn't even, bro.
Yeah, it's even, and not only I wouldn't say it's
It isn't
even.
even.
I would say even though Giannis is a top tier player, I
Yeah,
would say the Boston Celtics, especially with the way Tatum and Jalen Brown's been killing it since post All Star.
yeah,
Yo, with them two right now, I would say they have the full advantage, man, because this is the Dame move is just not really. It's not really. It's actually giving Giannis more work.
he
Sometimes
has to do
superstars,
more work, bro.
yeah, sometimes superstars don't realize you may get the big name guy, but sometimes you might end up doing more work. Like the
But
Drew
All
Holiday
Star
was a
fun,
better
man.
fit for what
It's
they
All
do.
Star fun.
Yeah.
It's All Star fun. It's they played together in the All Star team. Remember, he drafted him first
Mm-hmm.
that year in the All Star team. It was all about for him. It was like, yo, I want to play with my boy, and you know how it is, man.
Yeah, but right now, like I said, with Jalen Brown, if you look at his numbers, man, I believe I threw the link on the
Yeah,
cloud. If you look at him post All Star just recently, he's averaging like 29 points a game.
dog, he's living up to that $200 million contract.
Yeah, he's definitely living up to that. And with him cooking like that, it's not necessarily even about his points. It's the fact that he's not doing the Jalen Brown shit. You know, the too much dribbling, the
Yeah,
boneheaded mistakes on the turnovers. It's like he's cutting that down while at the same time increasing his efficiency rate. That's gonna
bro,
be a
I
problem.
I wrote about him, right, dog. His playmaking has really improved because of the way the guys have been. Because now he doesn't have Marcus Smart and those kind of players anymore. He has guys
Mm-hmm.
who can knock down shots. Drew Holiday and Derek White, they're knocking down shots.
Yep. I'm just looking at his last 10-day, man. Like, even his plus minus is crazy. Plus 16, plus 35, plus 9.
Yep.
Man, he hasn't had one negative game. And he's dropping like 41, 27, 27, 37. He's killing it, man. 31. Yo, Jalen
Bro,
Brown. Yo, who's better? Like, at times, yo, it be looking suspect. Like, who's better? Tatum or
bro,
Brown?
it's a 1A, 1B kind of situation, bro. in Boston, and that's a great situation to be in, bro. It's nothing stopping them from making a finals run. It just depends on Porzingis.
Nah, I don't think it depends on Porzingis. I think it depends on Tatum, man. It depends on Tatum, especially after the last NBA Finals in 2022 with the
Yeah,
Celtics.
I agree with you on that. But the thing with Porzingis, right, is they're gonna go against Nikola Jokic more than likely. You need Porzingis to be locked in the playoffs, and he hasn't shown that much since getting into the playoffs. In Dallas, he admits in himself in the JJ Reddit podcast that he wasn't locked in, so he has to be locked in to guard Jokic 99.9% of the game.
He's gonna have to be locked in, but
Yeah.
everything once again, KP and Drew Holiday are just insurance policies for Tatum. The onus is really on Tatum, man.
Well, I think Derek White's also an insurance policy.
Who?
Derek White.
Derek White also has been killing. That's what I'm saying. But all those guys, just a combination of those three, it's already too much. So at some point, the onus is gonna be on Tatum. Take the fucking responsibility. And I think he's ready, man. Like, all signs are showing that Tatum might be ready to take that final leap. That final fucking... It's the same way like LeBron. The first year in Miami. You saw them lose in the finals, but you knew it was coming. Like, LeBron needs to take responsibility. He took over in that Boston, was it game 6? Tatum needs to have his LeBron game 6 in Boston moment.
I mean, you get humbled by the veteran, man. It's not surprising. It's a case that we saw in 2011 when Dirk Nowitzki and them came to town to Jason Terry.
Mhm.
Same thing happened in 2022 when Steph Curry, Draymond ran into town.
But once Tatum finds that moment, I don't think he's ever gonna come back. He's just gonna be a problem year in, year out. And Tatum at the same time, he's the leader of his generation by miles. Like, he's the
Boston,
leader,
bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about his generation of players. I'm talking about the Trae Youngs, the Lukas, the Zions, Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's way ahead of them as far as experience. Multiple conference finals. Like, he may not be in MVP talks, but when it comes to like his era of players around the same age, he's ahead of those guys. Even guys like Devin Booker, he's ahead of. Like, that's his
100%.
era.
But he's been able to develop in a situation with a bunch of veterans. He's blessed with that in that regard. He's very blessed.
Yeah, but he's also had his ups and downs, like in the bubble, getting eliminated by Toronto or Miami, and then losing to Miami last season, not getting to the finals. Like, the man has had his ups and downs. JJ Redick and LeBron spoke about Tatum.
You know, there's a great saying that says the best teacher in life is experience as well. And we look at Tatum, I mean, he's 25 years old. He's 25 years old, and I believe he's been to the conference finals 4 times, been to obviously the NBA finals once. He's 25. I didn't win my first one until I was 28. I think Joker won his first one at 27. I think MJ was 28 as well.
Kobe without Shaq was around the same age.
Yeah, so
Steph was.
So like, you know, I think we have a we have a lot of expectations on JT, but he's experienced a lot of winning in his career so far. And obviously we you know, everyone wants to see him get over the hump, but 4 conference finals in a finals appearance before the age of 26 that's elite. And like you just said, he's continued to grow, and you know, they are in a position where they can make another title run. And like you said, personnel helps. You know, Adam Porzingis and getting Drew for a bag of Lay's potato chips, that helps as well. that helps as well. But you know, JT is definitely the you know, when you go and you start scouting for Boston, he's the number 1 guy for sure.
Now, right there, man, what do you think about that? Especially with the Celtics getting Drew Holiday for nothing. Also, they keep finessing every single time.
Bro, I mean, Brad Stevens is a brilliant GM, but that's one hell of an endorsement, bro, for Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
is. Bro.
But it's the reality at the same time. It is the reality.
Yeah.
It's not like
he's able to achieve. Not many young players can say they can achieve.
Say that again?
Bro, he isn't overly played because people don't like Boston, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. I mean, right? I don't like the Boston Celtics. You're a Knicks fan. I know you don't like the Boston Celtics. But there's no denying talk that Jason Tatum's a generational superstar, dog. And what he's able to accomplish, not many players can say they were able to accomplish.
Facts. But The
Like, what was his
Celtics.
worst playoff run? 2020, where they got eliminated in the first round against the 2021, where they got eliminated against the Brooklyn Nets first round,
Yeah, it
or
was
what?
2021, I believe.
Yeah, or what is it? The year Kyrie and them, where they barely beat the Pacers and then lost to, I think, the Bucks in 5 games.
Yeah, I
And
believe the Raptors might have eliminated Tatum and Brown from the
no, it
playoffs.
wasn't the Raptors.
It wasn't the
It was
Raptors?
the Bucks in 2019. It was when Kyrie had his first season back and Gordon Hayward had his first
Oh
season back.
yeah, you're right.
So there's not is like the fact is very hard for us to reaccount moments where he underperformed in the playoffs. It's crazy for a 25-year-old because you and I, we can both talk about, even Nikola Jokic, we can talk about times where he struggled in the playoffs, but we can't talk about that with this guy. I remember Enes Kanter being able to give Jokic a hard time in the playoffs, and that's Enes Kanter, along with you remember Taj Gibson gave him a hard time
Correct.
in 2018. 2017. He was able to give him a hard time.
Yep, Fort Greene
Around there.
Taj.
For Taj Gibson. Yeah, Minnesota Timberwolves, that big game.
But, at the end of the day, he has to elevate. And I believe he's looking. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This season, I understand a few times the Celtics had trouble with the crunch time minutes against like the T-Wolves. Had a few fuck-ups against the Clippers in crunch time and OKC. But other than that, man, Tatum, this is it, man. This is the final destination. This is the beginning of it.
Yep.
If they can't have no blunders where Jimmy Butler eliminates them in the playoffs. In Miami,
bro, the fact they took him to 3-0 is embarrassing, bro. Forget. That shit was bad.
Facts. But overall, man, it's the truth. It's the reality on Jason Tatum, on how he looks like right now. He looks like, he's in prime form. He has the experience. He has the personnel around him. This is it, man. This is the beginning of
He's
them
about to
making their
enter his
title
prime.
run.
He's entering his prime.
Yeah, and honestly, because of the new CBA, if it doesn't work out within the next 2 years, it's gonna be hard for the Celtics to keep this roster. It's gonna be very, very
Bro, it's
difficult.
expensive because all four of them are getting paid big. There's no way around it. That's why I like the CBA. It puts pressure on these guys to perform.
Yeah, to perform, and it puts I guess more urgency in free agency, because there's gonna be a lot of guys leaving teams, or just teams even trading away good players. Like, look at the T-Wolves with Karl Anthony Towns, or the Hawks with Trae Young.
Yep.
Eventually, the Hawks are gonna want to bail on Trae Young.
Well, that's a good transition. We could talk about them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw you put it on the notes, bro. The Atlanta Hawks. I think the Atlanta Hawks are at that position now where you went through 3 coaching changes. You've changed up the roster. You brought in DeJounte Murray to fix the holes within Trae Young. At some point, you gotta call it quits. I do like Jalen Johnson. I think he's special. Only 22 years old. He's shown a lot of potential. But other than that, I don't know if a Trae Young led Hawks team is gonna get you any success, because Doug, his game as an offensive player incredible, but due to his height, due to just his body itself, bro, he's not a guy who can take over the whole
defensive end. Just lack of effort. And
lack of effort, but even his body, bro. Who can he really guard in the who can he really guard on offense without getting bodied?
Do you think him and Towns have seen the last few days on their teams because of injury?
Possibly. I think Naz Reid could be someone Minnesota looks at and they're like, all right, yeah, you could be the future. Or if Minnesota decides to ride it out with Towns because of how loyal he's been to the franchise, that could be another possibility.
And once again, I'm sort of dancing with the audience here. Just keep in mind that Karl Anthony Towns, it's not like Minnesota wants to get rid of him. It's with the new CBA rules. They're going to have a lot of salary on their books. And can their front office people really go in from year in, year out and have the necessary tools to fix this team, make it a lot better? Because it's the way the rules are set up, it's going to be very, very difficult.
I need to talk about new ownership too.
Yeah, I seen recently A-Rod and I guess that group that kind of
Yeah,
backs everything up, or just their partners. They sort of completed the sale,
yeah, they brought in more people.
which is a good sign for Towns, because those guys seem like they're willing to spend the money.
Yeah, I mean, dog, Minnesota's a small market team, right? And I think they see that Anthony Edwards could be the face of the league. So wouldn't it be smart for you to invest in like win now situations? Because now you have kind of the borderline face of the league. People like Anthony Edwards. People want to see him everywhere.
They do, but at the same time, it's like, I believe with this new ownership group, they're gonna be fine, because within that billionaire, sphere or community or whatever, those guys don't really care how much teams cost nowadays. It's so rare to
Nah.
own a team. It seems like these guys they're willing to buy these teams at inflated prices. So they don't really
they
care about the
benefit from it.
financials. It's a weird thing going on. It's not just the NBA. It's even happening in MLS. You see a lot of
NHL.
Saudi. You see a lot of Saudi money coming in major soccer leagues overseas, like the English Premiership, or just the Spanish league. What's the Spanish league called? La Liga. I forgot, what is it called. The one where
I
Cristiano
don't know,
Ronaldo
bro.
used to play in, but
Yeah.
there's guys buying up players, buying up percentages of teams, and eventually, you seen the NBA post All-Star break, how they have the referees have the Emirates logo.
Emirates, and they're hosting summer league. They're hosting
Yeah.
summer league and preseason games in Dubai.
Yep, and the in-season tournament now is the Emirates Cup.
Yep. And I think was and the FIBA World Cup for the basketball. It's gonna be in Qatar. So you're seeing the golf also try to reach into the NBA market.
Yeah, but right now the NBA, the way the owners set it up, they don't really have it set up for them to fully buy a team. But I think eventually, because the money's gonna be so large of what they could get, I think they're possibly gonna be willing to make certain arrangements, man. Because money talks.
I mean,
man.
money talks, bullshit walks, bro. At some point, they're gonna look at that and they're gonna be like, "Oh hell yeah."
Yeah, look what's going on in golf and F1. They're having their best players or whatever, their best stars, kind of get seduced by Saudi money.
Yeah, I mean, dog. You see Messi, Ronaldo. He's banking, and both sides are benefiting because people are flying out to Saudi Arabia and they're spending money.
So, what's going on with Tyrese Halliburton? What's the situation with him right now?
Bro, Halliburton, it seems like
crazy.
he's on the. It seems like he's struggling, man. He is for a guy, for a guy who should be, for a guy who's an all-star starter, right? A guy who, we all declare that he's one of the best point guards, bro.
And he's in
the
contract
past month
year.
has been awful.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he's in contract year, by the way.
Yep. So obviously Indiana's looking at him as a future, and you know how franchises are. They'll be more than happy to lowball, and especially with numbers like this. On Friday, March the 1st, 0 of 6. Sunday the 3rd, 0 of 6. Tuesday the 5th, 3 of 10. Thursday, the 7th, 2 of 7. Sunday the 10th, 1 of 6.
Sheesh.
Tuesday the 12th, 2 of 6. Wednesday the 13th, 1 of 6. Saturday the 16th, 1 of 9. And Monday the 18th, 1 of 9. And these are all field goal, 3-point field goals. That's horrible, man.
Yeah, and that's his game right there.
Yep.
I'm wondering, with the way you heard about the officials, they had a meeting a few weeks ago, and they kind of pointed out certain things that the league wanted them to focus on, and now all of a sudden in the past month, scoring has been down.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like you got games ending with 98, 87. There's less fouls being called. I'm wondering if all this is in correlation with Tyrese's performance.
I mean, I get that, right? But it shouldn't tip to the point where you're not hitting your 0 of.
Oh yeah,
0 of 9.
That's true.
That's awful. Like a guy, I don't know who could be the perfect example of this, but a sharpshooter like Devontae Graham. If he has those nights, it makes sense. But a guy like this, bro, it's a franchise, piece, you'd want better numbers. You'd expect better numbers.
Now, okay, I should say this, right? Because I looked at the rules, like some of the things they call it point of emphasis that the NBA competition committee kind of went over with the officials. Now, there's a lot of like, contact screens. The refs are focusing on those now. So the players can't do those type of screens where they do a handoff, like a last second handoff, and all of a sudden it becomes a screen. Or they can't screen for a person that's already wide open. They can't just like, before the defender even turns around, they just step in front of them. Those screens are now illegal. I'm wondering if that has an effect with him having the ability to get open, especially with that slow windup that he has for a shot.
100%, bro. It's going to fuck up a lot of shots. It's going to fuck up a lot of players' rhythms too, bro. A lot of these guys are screen merchants.
Yeah. Because I've always seen like Tyrese, when they hyped him up earlier this season, well, he was extra hyped up. He was always in a way kind of hyped up. But like the scoring output, the assist thing was real. But the way he was scoring, and then I would see him in the in-season tournament, he's winding up. I'm like, this really working? Like, I know that's not going to work in the playoffs, but I'm like,
he's going to have a harsh reality in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now he's looking at what, the 8th seed? If he goes up against Derek White, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Pacers are 7th seed right now. The Pacers are 7th seed, but Tyrese, I don't know, man. Tyrese, the way his shot is like a wind up. It's real slow. Slow for a release.
Yep. And dude, I'm telling you, like if he goes up against Derek White, he's having a hard time.
Wow, just Derek White, not even Jaylen Brown.
Dude, I don't even think you have to put Jaylen Brown on him, bro. Anybody from Boston, to be honest with you, will give him a hard time. Jimmy would give him a hard time. You could put so many names, they'll give him a hard time.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Jimmy boy, the Heat have, I don't know, are the Heat pacing themselves for the playoffs? I think they don't give a fuck if they make the play-in, have to participate in that.
Nah, they don't care.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
I think the Heat feel like they have Giannis's number too.
I feel like they feel Giannis's number, yeah, and the Bucks and the whole Bucks team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for them, I won't be surprised if they're just gunning. I won't be surprised if they just gun for the 7th seed.
Well, the 7th seed in a way, what you just have to win one game, right? And
Yeah. I won't be surprised if they gun for the 7th seed.
Yeah, because this is an older team at this point. If they could just float in the middle and wherever they land, because they proved that they can be hot from almost being eliminated in the play-in last season to making the finals.
Bro, they have so much guys that I'm very impressed of. I wrote about Duncan Robinson. The way he's been able to transform his game is incredible.
Yeah, I'm surprised he bounced back after they gave him that large money.
Like, he's impressed with his off-ball skills. He's impressed me with his ball handling, his passing abilities. The guy is no longer just the guy who can, stand in the corner and shoot. He can do much more. He's made himself relevant in the offense.
Correct. And what about the other guys, man? Pat Riley running a sweatshop down there. They got Jovic and with Jamie.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. special, man.
What? How do you say his name?
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez. Oh, Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah, replace the J with an H.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah. Oh my God,
he's
the off-ball movement is crazy. He fits right into what they do.
Dog, the way, dude, he plays bully ball too, man. He goes down.
Yeah, he has some good size on him.
Yeah, like he's willing to attack the paint. He's aggressive. I really like him, bro.
Yeah. But once again, Pat Riley, I don't know if it's the YMCA gyms down there in Miami, but
bro, the problem with Pat Riley players is, dog, a lot of these guys leave and they don't become anything.
Yeah, but some of them work out. Like, look at Strus in Cleveland. It looks like he's working out.
Strus is nice.
Yeah, Strus and the other guy, what's his name? Oh no, I think Keebler.
Maxi Keebler? I don't think he ever played for Miami, if I'm not wrong.
No, you know what? It's not Keebler. It's the other guy, man. It's Strus, and then I think the other guy has just a twin brother. Yeah, or he has
from Utah. Cody Martin.
Yeah,
Cody
the Martin brothers, man. Yo, is there one in Charlotte?
Yeah, the one in Charlotte.
The one in Miami. Martin. He's still in Miami, right? Or no?
I believe, is Caleb in Miami or Courtney or Cody?
One of them were in Miami. I was like, I don't know where Pat Riley just keep finding these guys.
Cody Martin's in Charlotte.
Oh, it's Cody. So where's the other one?
Caleb's in Miami.
Oh, he's still in Miami. Okay, so it's Gabe
Yep.
Vincent that they lost. So
Yeah,
just
Gabe is in
Vincent.
LA, but he hasn't been healthy this year.
Yeah, they said allegedly he's out for the whole season now.
Yeah, I mean, dog, I'm not surprised. You want to talk about Laker World?
Yeah, go ahead. You could jump right on it, man. Because at the end of the day, I still don't know why the Lakers get covered so much for a 10th seed. This shit is crazy, man.
Bro, Hollywood is Hollywood, man.
Yeah, I see that. And NBA is kind of a little bit of Hollywood, man.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not even gonna be a hypocrite, dude. I did the same exact shit just now for the past 2 hours.
Oh, what you?
I just spent 2 hours writing about D'Angelo Russell. So,
oh yeah, D'Lo. D'Lo has been going in though. D'Lo
dude,
look like he's in the Matrix.
He's killing it. But my thing is, why the hell did it take you this long for you to realize, like, D'Lo is that guy? The Lakers are making the playoffs. It's safe to say I think the Sacramento Kings have secured their place as a 6th seed, and I think unless Kevin Durant or Devin Booker aren't healthy, the Suns are making it. Who else is the 7th? I feel like I'm missing a team. Oh, Dallas. Dallas is making it too. Kyrie and Luka have been special. But other than that, I don't see a room where the Lakers can compete. Bro, and I saw the statement by D'Angelo Russell. It shows a lot about Darvin Ham and his favoritism.
Let's look at what Russell had to say right here.
What is it that makes it so hard for you guys to win over Sacramento?
I think Mike Brown. Honestly, I know how good of a coach he is. I know what he's done to that team. I know where they were before he got there, and they are where they are now. I think obviously they have players that are more than capable, but the system that he's put around those guys, everybody's involved, I would say, and everybody's lethal, and I know his style, so I know it's what they do is him. So for sure.
Sheesh. Yeah, D'Lo's been pretty vocal. I think he has a podcast too. Were you able to hear the soundbite?
Yeah, I was here. Dude,
right.
it's he's showing his balls off, bro. This guy has he has a player option next year, so this upcoming off season. So he's showing his balls off. He's like, yo, either Darvin Ham is gone or I'm gone. And the Lakers, Jeannie Buss and Rob are gonna have to make a tough decision this offseason, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna make a tough decision, but the fit with D'Lo
It shouldn't be a tough decision.
No,
but
it really is
don't
because
make it
the
tough.
fit with D'Lo has always been a struggle. Because the problem is that the role he wants to play is what LeBron does. LeBron is the ball handler off the pick and roll. D'Lo's supposed to pop out for 3 while AD is rolling. So, but how D'Lo wants it, he wants to be the ball handler and he wants to kick it out to someone else for 3.
D'Lo is not an off-ball player. He's not an off-ball player.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
I
actually
he's
have
a
the
guy who
soundbite
needs
of
the
that.
ball.
Say that again.
He's a guy who needs the ball. I also found it interesting how he gave so much credit to Mike Brown. I thought that was also a subtle shot towards Darvin Ham's coaching.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, they don't really treat him like he has power.
Yeah, I also found it interesting. One thing I found interesting is a favoritism. And one of the articles I read today, it was about Darvin Ham. His relationship with Dennis Schroeder is the reason why him and D'Lo couldn't have a relationship. So it's been a clear favoritism by Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why, because him and Dennis have been tight since the days of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But this kind of statement, it's not good, especially when you're a coach. You're putting personal relationship over winning. It's questionable. Like, why? Torian Prince, same thing. I know they known each other since the Atlanta days, but why the hell is he getting first priority over D'Angelo Russell, who's clearly the better player, or Austin Reeves, who's a better player?
Correct. But I have the bit right here of D'Angelo Russell actually talking about he wants to be, the ball handler. He doesn't like his role on his team, but let's check it out.
I get into my flow state in the pick and roll when it comes to the game. So if I can tap into pick and rolls and recognize how they guard me, it allows me to control the game because I can get to what I know is working or it might not work. It's like playing the game within the game, but I'm in my space. I ain't just catching and shooting. Down, I'm in y'all space. If I miss, y'all took me out the game. Y'all just took me out the game. If I'm missing, if that's all I'm doing is catching and shooting. But if I'm getting to do what I know I can do, which honestly, I feel like that's when I'm at my best, when I just have a roller and a shooter. Somehow, some way around me, just a roller and a shooter. You put whatever else in the other two spots.
So you see right there, he wants to be in LeBron's position. He wants to be in but hold on, he's right though when he says that you basically take me out the game if I'm not making my shots. But the thing is playing with LeBron James, that's what everyone pretty much gets reduced to. If a guy who just has to catch and shoot.
You have to play off ball. Dude, that's what made Miami work. That's what made Cleveland work. You know, that's why Norris Cole and Maury Chalmers were able to have long careers. It's because they knew that, we just got to stand in the corner and hit our threes.
But not a lot of players are willing to accept that. And
not a lot of players are skilled enough to do that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it don't matter who you are. That's what LeBron does to you. Like, he's very ball dominant. That's why he can average what he averages at almost age 40. You know what I mean?
D'Angelo isn't quick. How can we expect him to play off ball?
Yeah, that's they want AD to set the pick, LeBron with the ball off the pick, AD rolls, and Russell gets like a flare screen, he pops out, and LeBron passes him the ball.
Yeah, it's just impossible. He's not quick.
That's exactly what they want. But you see D'Angelo Russell right there, he's starting to get brave. He's going on podcasts.
Yeah.
He's saying it is what it is.
Well,
go ahead.
I think also the trade deadline plays a big part in that.
How so?
Bro, he was one of the names that were in the news.
Yeah, he's always going to be one of the names.
the DeJounte Murray trade rumors. That for sure pissed him off because he's looking at the team. He's like, number one, you guys have reduced my role. Number two, you guys are trading me. You guys are trading me while putting me in a shitty situation which tanks my value. So of course he's gonna be like, yo, fuck this.
Sounds like what they did to Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I mean, of course, man. That's what it is. He's gonna be pissed. He's looking at other teams for sure. He's looking at teams that need a point guard. I can't think of a team on top of my head. Maybe he looks at San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama, but he's for sure looking at other options.
Yeah, there's been quite a few players been frustrated with LeBron, whether it was in Cleveland, Miami, etc.
Yeah.
Just they weren't feeling their role. Kyrie's one of it. I think Jay Crowder's another one. D'Angelo Russell's another one.
Jay Crowder was another one. Isaiah Thomas was another one.
Yeah, that list is a lot longer than what people think. I remember the narrative used to be LeBron's easy to play with. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Bro, I don't think any superstar is easy to play with, to be honest with you. Unless that superstar is like Nikola Jokic.
Or KD.
Or Kevin Durant. Where
KD
Kevin Durant does not need the ball. Steph Curry, they don't need the ball to be dominant. Kevin Durant legit he can just stand in a corner and the ball will find him and he'll make it.
Yep.
Zion Williamson.
Big Zion. He dropped 25 pounds allegedly.
I just wanted to drop that, bro. I love talking about Zion, bro.
So what's going down? Zion's looking good though, man. A lot of highlights
He's
finally
looking
coming through.
Incredible. The Pelicans are good. The Pelicans, I finally figured it out. David Griffin, talented GM since Cleveland. They got it, bro. Brandon Ingram and him, they're leading the team. Let me talk to you about the stats since March. So he started March 1st with eight points, not that hot. On the 5th, he dropped 16, whatever. 23 against the 76ers on the 8th. 27 against the Hawks on March 10th. March 13 against Cleveland, 33 points. March 15 against the Clippers. He has the Clippers' number. I don't know why people don't talk about it.
Yeah, the
34
Clippers are just a little bit.
They don't know how to guard him.
Yeah, they really don't. And they're small in the middle, low key.
Portland Trailblazers, 26 points. Brooklyn Nets, 28 points. A tear, man. And, his passing ability is I think his playmaking is very underrated, too.
Yeah, you know what, Zion, if he was smart during this stretch, he should have did a couple of fat burner commercials. Collect that
Yeah,
bag
I mean, dog,
because he's been
he's gonna
killing.
be his career. I hate that people kind of get on his ass about it. He's gonna be one of those guys who has to play to get in shape.
Oh no, that's not gonna work long term. Oh hell no.
It's not gonna work, but that's just what he is. Him, Joel Embiid, Shaquille O'Neal. I feel like those are the category of guys that he's gonna fall into, unfortunately. But but this is great numbers, man. He's boosted up his averages, 22.7 points per game
Mhm.
on 58% field goal shooting, 35% on the 3-point line. So he's shown capabilities in the shooting department.
Oh, he definitely is. And that's the shocking part because last minute that Pelicans team, they don't really have a go-to. So the fit with
No,
Zion and Ingram sometimes looks a little clunky. And at the same time,
that,
Alvarado, I don't think he's a good free throw shooter. And Zion
no.
too. Zion's not really a good free throw shooter. So they
Herb
have
Jones, I don't know about Herb Jones as a free throw shooter,
nah,
but he's a
he's all
legit
right.
defender.
Yeah, he's all right. But the two worst is Alvarado and Zion. So
Yeah,
in crunch time, to have two bad free throw shooters and at the same time Zion's not gonna take a shot on the court. You just got Brandon Ingram. He's not an off ball guy. Sometimes the fit at times is clunky.
it gets awkward.
Yeah. And CJ McCollum, I'm surprised they kind of his role is completely reduced.
He's injury prone and old at this point, man.
Mm-hmm. He might be back to his original role, like a guy that's kind of like the fourth man on the team.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys who's been able to step up. I think Troy Murphy the third's a good shooter. Herb
Mm-hmm.
Jones is a good defender.
Yeah, Hawkins too. They got a lot of guys, a lot of
Hawkins.
3-and-D type of guys.
Yep. They have a lot of capable guys. Jonas always been solid throughout his career.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, you think they trust this team enough to say, hey, we got all these draft picks, let's make a move and try to add something.
They're
to
gonna
this
make a
team?
move. They're gonna try to bring a third guy.
Yeah, and plus
No.
they have all these 3-and-D guys. They might as well just trade one of them.
If Brook Lopez was 3 years younger, I would recommend them trading for Brook.
For Brook Lopez.
Yeah, but they need a rebounder. I don't know how it would work though.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation to think about.
Yeah, but it's crazy because Zion should have been playing like this maybe like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
mean, dog, he hasn't been that healthy, man. But that's another problem I have with him, man. Is lack of health. I think it's made him underrated. I know people are like, "Yo, Zion Williamson's a bust." I'm like, dog. If you asked a retired player, would he have Zion Williamson's career? He'd say, "Hell yeah."
Nah, he's not a bust, but compared to how hype it was for Zion, that hype train is long left the station. Like even Ja, I would say Ja has more hype than him coming back to the court. But Zion got mad time to like turn it around, so we'll see, man, with Zion. My man Zion shredded though, and he had a crazy dunk in Brooklyn. Woo! Did you see that? It looked like a Space Jam dunk.
Oh, dude, that one against the Nets,
Yeah, the one against the Nets. Oh my god,
bro, that was cold.
Yeah, that was nasty. See, he got to get back on that. You got to get
That
back
was
on that. But he looked good
cold,
though,
bro.
man. He looked good. Stop
He
eating
looks
that
great
gumbo.
and perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to put it. Perfect timing.
Exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited about what he can do in the playoffs. Another guy I'm really excited about is Paulo Banchero. Orlando secured a playoff seed.
Oh, they secured it? Yo,
Yep.
I gotta admit, man, Orlando, I'm shocked because they really don't have a ball handler and their shooting is bad. But
Yeah. The defense, bro. Jamal Mosley got extended. Well deserved.
yeah, well deserved. Facts.
He's been able to develop a lot of these guys. Jonathan Isaac, he's come. I know people. I viewed him as an all-star. Unfortunately, injuries kind of ruined that
derailed
potential.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, he's shown out to be a solid role player, and if he's healthy, he'll have a solid career.
Yeah. Did he get an extension recently?
Jonathan Isaac, I don't know if he'll get an extension. Dude, you know what? I think they could get him for dirt cheap.
Yeah, I think they did extend him for cheaper. Let
Let
me
me
see
see.
right here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Magic did extend him for cheaper.
Yeah, they did. 4 year, $69 million contract.
Wow.
That's not bad. Tradable.
You think it's tradable?
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, why not? But it depends on his health. It could either be a shit contract or it could be a decent one.
Oh, you know what?
What's up?
No, they didn't extend him. He has. Well, I don't know. Maybe he has a.
Then I'm talking. Am I talking about an old contract?
Yeah, I think it's the old contract for 17 mil a year. I think he has. His contract is not even fully guaranteed for the next 2 seasons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm looking at an old one. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's right
extension
before his
happened
injury.
a long time ago.
Yeah, that's right before
Yeah.
his injury.
Yeah. I mean, for that time, it was a good extension.
Yeah, it was a good extension. It's still a good
Yeah.
deal today.
Yeah. I mean, dude, they have a competent front office. People don't care about Orlando, but, you know, I'm kind of excited about what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they could actually find a ball handler. I know Markelle Fultz. They're probably going to let him go in the offseason.
He's done.
Eventually.
I think Cole Anthony maybe is their franchise point guard. Maybe even make a move for Trae Young. You know, you can make him a second or third option along with Franz and Paulo Banchero.
Yeah, they might have to make a move.
But I don't see them ever trading him to the same conference.
They're going to have to trade some of the players that they got. Like, they got, I think, Blackman or Black. They got too many guards.
Black is solid.
That can't shoot. They need a real ball handler that can make an entry pass in the post. They got Pablo kind of doing too much. Like, he's almost doing like the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George role when they had no point guard. Like, that's what they got him doing.
You know, I kind of want to see what they do with their big men because Goga showed out to be a good center early on in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yo,
so I kind of want to see.
You know who would kind of fit in with that team if they were like available? Russell Westbrook, like in a way to get them going, get them some assists. Like he could probably average 10+ assists on a team like that.
Locker room guy.
Yeah, like the new Russell Westbrook.
I don't know if he wants to be that kind of guy anymore.
Yeah. For a losing
developing
team
players
or developing team, like nah. Yeah, I don't see it either. Speaking of development, the Knicks, the Knicks catching the league by storm.
Go New York, go.
They are catching the league by storm right now.
Josh Hart special, man. One of the best role players. I liked him since the Lakers drafted him.
Yes, but now it's almost like Tom Thibodeau has his type of players, his type of guys. Because
that's the worrying part. If you're a Knicks fan.
Well, hold on. If he made Joakim Noah a freaking 2-time All-Star, multiple times first, or second All-NBA,
Luol Deng.
Luol Deng. He could make these guys definitely more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys definitely have more raw skill. Like
Tibbs
guys like Randall,
culture,
Brunson, OG.
Yep, OG.
OG
Dante
is his new Luol Deng.
Yeah,
for
Dante
sure.
Lorenzo, Josh Hart.
Dante.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys have a lot, and Tibbs got them grinding right now without OG, without Randall. They got Miles McBride doing his thing.
Yeah, they have a lot of gems.
It's a lot of gems, but it's also Tibbs actually has his kind of backing. You could tell like the Knicks front office, they're in sync. They're getting Tibbs the type of players that he want. They kind of trust what he's doing.
Well, I think they know Tibbs, man. Tibbs is a guy. Tibbs is he's a fringe playoff guy, but I don't know. Can Tibbs take your team far in the playoffs is my question. I think this culture is fun, but at some point, the Knicks are going to have to look at Tibbs. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the line is how far can this guy take us?
If you take a step back and look at Tibbs, the person for who he is, like just what he does, you can see like he's almost like the Bill Belichick of the NBA in a way, minus the winning yet. But I'm saying like as far as the characteristics, he's always in the film room. This guy doesn't even go out. He doesn't have much of a family life.
He's a junkie.
Yeah, he's a basketball junkie, and he's had great success with the Chicago Bulls getting D-Rose MVP, and just that overall team. They possibly could have went to the finals, but of course D-Rose got hurt. When he went to Minnesota was actually successful. When he left, they didn't make the playoff the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere Tibbs is gone, he's had success, and he comes from a championship pedigree. He's come from the Boston Celtics. He was Doc Rivers' assistant coach. on that championship team, and he also was working with Jeff Van Gundy through the 90s Knicks. So, you know, Tibbs kind of has the resume of being that type of coach.
He's worked for tough coaches, you know. Jeff Van Gundy, in his day, tough coach.
Because in a way, I would say, in a way, you could take away Doc Rivers' championship with the Celtics. If you take that away, he's not that far off from being Tibbs. Really not. And Doc Rivers has had 10 times more talent than Tibbs has ever had. Tibbs got Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, Ben Gordon, all these type of guys, Luol Deng. He's got those guys performing at high levels.
Yep.
Like, it's something to be said. And then now you look at this Knicks roster: McBride, Hartenstein, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo.
But I remember Hartenstein was struggling to find a spot in Houston.
Has a pedigree, man. I don't know if it's championship, but it's not too far off from that, man. He just needs the luck side. The luck.
He needs the luck side. I feel like Tibbs need better time management. That's always been one thing that's been a problem with him.
You don't think that's a little bit overrated? Because we've only seen D Rose break down, and that's because of D Rose's body.
I think it's a stupid narrative, very stupid narrative.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And like you kind of it is. But as long as the players don't complain, I don't see why they complain. But you know, for a regular season, it does kind of get tough and grindy. That I do agree with, but I think the whole, burning out shit, I think is kind of overblown.
But as far as the Knicks, I mean, if everything could come together for them, the injuries, if Randall could at least come back 70-80%, and then OG comes back at least the same, and then you have Brunson, and the key person that no one talks about, if Mitchell Robinson comes back for this team, for them to have Mitchell Robinson, Precious, and what's his name, Hartenstein rebounding at the clip that they rebound, coming off the bench,
they're starting in every position.
Yeah, this team is going to be very tough.
At best, this team could be the Detroit Pistons of the 2000s.
They could.
Just dogs.
And low key, Chauncey Billups, man, that was a dog. He has the same characteristics as Brunson. He can make the big shot. He plays the right way, very efficient. Yeah. This
100%.
This team is I guess the Knicks have a branding in the past 20 years where people just the media overall, they just brand them as kind of a fuck up. Like the NBA's fucked up child, like the child that keeps messing up, or a stepchild. Yeah. But now it's like that branding when it's pretty obvious to people, like, this team is serious. And they can get free agents.
The media spoiled the Knicks, Stratus. Like, it's the best way I could put it is a spoiled child who's shown that, he can be good at something.
Yeah. But it's hard for them to be taken serious when they are good. And I think this season we've seen that, because even Jalen Brunson, for them to be denying Jalen Brunson at this point, it's like you've seen him in the Western Conference Finals with the Mavericks. You've seen what he did in the playoffs without Luka there, how he cooked up Donovan
Phoenix?
Mitchell.
He killed Phoenix.
Yeah, like, they seen this guy kind of rise up, and they're just like, They seen him last year in the playoffs against the Heat in Game 6 when no other Knicks can make a shot. This guy had the Knicks like a possession away from winning.
2021, if he was there in 2021, we wouldn't talk about Trae Young's Eastern Conference appearance.
Yep. But it's interesting. The East, I would say the Knicks might be the future of that conference, depending on what happens with the Celtics. If they end up blowing up that team, or just, trading away Jaylen Brown because of the new CBA or whatever, the Knicks might actually be in the best position to be the future of the conference, because not only they're good now, they have a lot of draft assets to keep adding to it. The Celtics don't have, well, I wouldn't say necessarily Celtics, but the Bucks don't have that. The 76ers don't really have that as much. And, the other teams in the league, like the Heat, they're getting older. So the future of the East, it might be too early on this, but it could be the Knicks. It's looking like the Knicks are in the best position.
That's what we're here for. We're always here for hot takes, bro.
It's funny because these things are not hot takes. These things should be said, by the national media, but they're not.
But I think
they're too busy talking about the Lakers. Let's keep it a buck. The 9th seed Lakers, the 10th seed Warriors. This is what they talk about every single day.
Bro, man, look, just wait till Steph Curry LeBron comes to New York, and you'll be fine. But back to series track, the criticism Brunson gets, I think he should be putting more on Randall. Can Randall finally break into that playoff ceiling that he's been struggling with?
Well, the real question is, can Randall finally be healthy?
Yeah.
Because last season he was not healthy. Like, he ended up getting surgery on his foot, and he was going up against an all NBA defender, and bam.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
bro, he's Zach Randolph, man.
I wouldn't say that, because he wasn't healthy last year in the playoffs. And then the year before, in the year before, he went in the playoffs. Well, not the year before, but when the Knicks were facing the Hawks, the Knicks had no point guard. They had to make Derrick Rose burn himself out by playing 35 minutes plus. And then they had no Mitchell Robinson either.
Yeah.
So the Randall playoff thing is a little bit overblown, but we haven't really seen him fully healthy in a good situation in the playoffs.
Also, the Zach Randolph comparison was a compliment.
In a way, how so?
Bro, Zach Randolph was a beast.
But was he a beast in the playoffs? I don't remember that.
He did great against the Thunder.
Yeah, I think he might have had a playoff victory against CP3 also. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, dude, the grit and grind, they were a tough team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving it a compliment, because I think Zebo's one of those guys, if he played today, he'd translate pretty well.
But it's crazy, the fact that I feel like Randall's stronger and Randall has more passing ability than Zebo.
Bro, he's a very underrated passer, Randall.
Yeah, he can do it all.
The driving kicks are great.
Mm-hmm. The only thing with Randall, he needs to slow down sometimes on the dribbling.
Yeah. Well, you always talk about how we talk about bums teams, but one thing we do love talking about is the Houston Rockets, man.
Oh my God, this franchise is in the right direction, but they have a little setback with Şengün. I'm not gonna lie, that shit looks scary. What's going on with
Jalen Green? Jalen Green has found himself, man.
Nah, I know, but wait, hold on. What's going on with Şengün, by the way? Is he coming back, or is he out?
Nah, yeah, he's done for the season.
Oh, wait. So how long is the recovery?
They said it isn't serious. They said it wasn't a serious injury, from what I read, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like a 2-month thing, or?
Let me check. I think, man, I didn't really read into it because I was busy at the time. But let me see.
Yeah, because I saw that injury. It looked bad online. It looked bad.
Yeah, it seems. Oh, okay. Şengün suffered from a grade 3 sprained ankle, which is so.
Oh, so all right. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense he's out for the year. I mean, but this team was projected to make the playoffs though, man. No?
It's a young team. They had a lot of injuries. Tyrese got injured mid-season too.
Oh, they're out of it right now. Oh.
Yeah. Tyrese got injured mid-season.
This is how bad the Lakers and Warriors are doing. The fact that even the Suns, they're all swimming in the same pool. The 8th,
with the Rockets,
9th, 10th, and 11th seeds. That's crazy. You got Mavericks at 7, Suns at 8, Lakers at 9, and the Warriors at 10, as we're speaking at this moment.
But
that's crazy.
Ime Udoka.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's killing it. I'm not shocked that he's killing it with the Houston
Me
Rockets.
neither. He's special.
Yeah, I feel like the Celtics kind of dropped the ball a little bit with not handling stuff internally.
Man, that's because it was not because he had an affair, but it's because he had an affair with one of the guys who worked for the franchise.
Yeah, but they should have kept that under wraps. I didn't get what was the point of it spilling out, doing a press conference about that.
Bro, but people were going to question a guy that went to the finals got fired.
They should have just said it was an internal issue. Because, like, a lot of their employees, they put their privacy at risk. There was no reason for that.
Yeah, they're both married. I mean, obviously, it should have been kept under wraps, but it's one of the craziest stories that ever came out. But I'm happy he's able to bounce back from it.
Yeah, I'm glad also for him. But I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked because he's a good coach.
He's talented.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised the Brooklyn Nets didn't give him the job when KD and
man,
Kyrie
KD wanted his boy
Steve
Nash to come, man.
Yeah, like that was that's another franchise that completely fumbled the bag right here.
Bro, Kyrie Irving, man, he seems to like old coaches that become. He seems to like old players that he watched growing up turn into coaching, turn turn into his coaching. Because if you ask him, he really loves Jason Kidd.
Yeah, he definitely does. Going back to Jalen Green, I see that he is shining without Şengün being there. He's back to freestyle basketball. Like, are the Rockets
let
winning?
me ask you: Is it because the Rockets realize the playoff hopes is gone? He's hooping, or you think he finally figured it out? Because I'm leaning towards, the Rockets. Like the Rockets in their heads, the franchise have succeeded this season,
The
and they're willing to
expectations,
be
right?
like, you know what? Yeah, they're willing to be like, our franchise star is gone. We're not beating LeBron. We're not beating Steph. So, and we're not beating Dallas. So they're thinking, might as well give up the season.
Let me check. Let me check it right here, because yeah, you're right. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, like, they should be playing to at least win, because like, what are they gonna draft? You know what I mean?
They got.
Like
I don't think they have their own picks.
Let me see.
Check that for me too. If they have their own picks, I think they have Brooklyn's picks.
Yeah, they have Brooklyn's picks. I don't.
Do they have their own?
I'm not sure if they have their own. Let me check. Yeah, they're losing.
Because
so he's balling out. They lost their last 3 games. Oh,
but he's posting big numbers.
I'm reading the wrong. Nah, they're actually winning. They're winning. But they played
they're
against.
Winning.
Yeah, they played against Cleveland. No Donovan Mitchell. The Wizards again. The Spurs. The Kings and Portland. Also, they had an easier stretch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
makes
Kings.
sense now.
Let me see their win totals.
Yeah,
Wizards.
I
who
see
cares?
Jalen Green is the scoring leader of all those games.
Yeah, so I guess the only impressive win you could say is the Kings and Cleveland.
But can you really even say the Kings are impressive win? Because they've been up and down like a motherfucker.
Bro, look, the Sacramento's problem is when it comes to good teams, they play like a championship franchise, man. But when it comes to someone this pure garbage,
yeah, like a Monday night.
Yeah, they turn into the Washington Wizards, bro.
Mm-hmm. But even the Cleveland win, it doesn't count because Mitchell wasn't even there.
Yep. You're just playing against, 2 big men that can't shoot and Darius Garland.
Yeah, but Jalen Green, he's not. Let me see his shooting percentages. He's actually been, 57%, 45%, not bad. 65%, really good. Other than that, he's been regular. Had 1 game with 57% shooting in Portland. Against the good teams, he's about 40%. So he's about average.
He's had a respectable moments. But my thing is, dog, is it like at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I read an article about him not that long ago, but it could burn on my face as he continues to play, because most of my followers are from Houston, obviously. So they're like, you slandering our boy while he's dropping this, that, and the third. But when you put it in context, man, when the Rockets were trying to win games, he was ass. And the fact now that we're not even putting him in the conversation because they're not going to be in that conversation, and he's been able to step up, it's questionable, bro.
Yep, it is questionable. Wait, hold on. I want to say this is Draymond Green speaking to some kids about, I guess, having a role in the NBA, and I think this is some of the conundrums Jalen Green is facing, because he's not really doing this with Şengün in the lineup. He's kind of doing this dolo when it's looking like things are tanking. But listen to Draymond Green kind of talk about players not really having a role when they get into the league.
I started talking to you. You start getting the ball. You want to take jump shots and never crash the offensive board again. You're not going to make it shooting jump shots. You're going to make it by hustling and getting offensive rebounds, getting stops. You know what I'm saying? Gabe, I just beat you in all these sprints. That's bullshit. And it's my first time on the court. Up and down. That's bullshit. You trying to make a team. How you going to make it? If Pascal Siakam is outrunning you, if Fred VanVleet is outrunning you, you'll never. You know what I'm saying? So We can talk IQ shit all we want. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers gotta play a role in the NBA. Yes. It's too much a team that can do what the they want to do. And 13 other motherfuckers, they gotta play a role. That can do what the they want to do. Everybody else got a role. So you're gonna either master your role or you're gonna get the fuck out. And it's just that simple. And running hard, 2 minute sprint, really?
All right, so basically that's him kind of alluding like to some of the lifestyle. Well, I won't say the lifestyle, but alluding to
Game
some of the
style.
work. Yeah, the work ethic that kind of gets guys on their way out of the league. Like I feel like a lot with Jalen Green is like raw talent, the ability to bounce, the athleticism, but you don't really see like the understanding of the game. Like
you don't see rebounding, you don't see passing abilities, improve ball handling.
Don't see
none I think how we were talking about Duncan Robinson earlier today, and how he's been able to transform his game. You know, from a guy who looked like he's almost out the league to now a guy who we're like, yo, I want him on my team. And you know, and he hustled for that shit. You know, we talk about other guys. Taj Gibson, 15-year career. Never a crazy season from what I remember.
Correct.
But he's been so consistent, so like, you know, hustles, knows locker room culture, knows how to carry himself. You know, you see what he's been, you know, we can talk about later on. You've seen what he's done in Detroit. You know, those kind of guys, Patrick Beverly, they stay in the league forever because they understand their role and they get the best out of their franchise players. You're not gonna get that with Jalen Green. Not everyone can be as LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard. You know, it's just what it is.
Correct. And once again, it's back to his conundrum. Can he play his role when Şengün comes back? Like, what if they just need him to defend for a couple possessions or a game or two, or if they need him just to like, you know, get in the way, get rebounds, be scrappy. Like, I don't think he can. Like, if you take away scoring from his identity, I feel like he gets lost.
Yep, and that is why like a guy like Taj Gibson will have a better ending of his career than like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, top 75 player, Hall of Famer, right?
Correct.
But what cost him at the end was his ability to be like, you know what, I'll give up a couple of possessions on offense just so I could be the one running on the other end of the court, guarding the best player or doing some other shit.
Defense. I think him not playing defense and not being that person willing to be a jump shooter who possibly is supposed to come off the bench for about 25 minutes a game. Like, just him not being a defender was already an issue. But him not being a spot-up shooter when they needed him to be, it's just like it's back to what Draymond said. Can you fit into the role that they give you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, the league changes fast.
Yeah, it changed fast on Melo. I think it caught him off guard. It changed very fast on him. Like that volume shooter, being a ball stopper, it no longer worked by the time it was 2017, 2018. That shit was over with.
And that shit, bro, everyone looking to move the ball. It is what it is.
Correct. But with Jalen Green, like Draymond said, like, can he be scrappy? Can he have other characteristics besides being the high flyer, the scorer, the volume shooter? He needs something else besides that. Like, what do we know Jalen Green for? Like, what does he do besides score?
You need veterans for that shit, bro. You need kind of a hard-ass veteran that, you know, is willing to tell Jalen, yo, you know, there's times where you're not going to get possessions. You know, Freddie's going to get the possession or Alfred Şengün with the handoff pass. You have to take a backseat. If he's not willing to accept that, at some point, Houston got to look around.
Correct. I just don't see what is he doing besides scoring. I can't say he rebounds, he grabs,
you can't say, like, you know, or he can play make, like, you know, his gravity. Like, bro, honestly, like, if you're a team, you let Jalen get 50 points because you know at the end you'll win the game.
Yeah, because at the other end of the floor, you're just blowing past him.
Yeah, and you know Jalen can't crave for anybody else. So you know he'll burn himself out, and at some point, you know, those guys are just mannequins standing there trying to get open for a guy who can't see the court well.
Yeah, it's so crazy because you see the bounce, you see the athleticism, but there's other players in the NBA who can't really score, but you see them use their bounce and athleticism to get in the way of passes, to, you know, contest shots. Jalen Green has all that already. Why not apply some of that scoring energy on the other end?
He's only 3 years in, so I'm not gonna count him out. But for me, as of right now, he looks like Jordan Clarkson. But like I said, I don't want to count him out and say, yo, he's not a star. I think he's a guy who has a long way to go. And let's be honest, out of that whole, what is it, 2021, 22 draft?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2022. Was it? Yeah, it's 2022. I mean, besides Scotty Barnes, I think a lot of these guys are still figuring out their role. Franz Wagner's still figuring it out. Evan Mobley's still figuring it out offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Cade Cunningham has had a harder time, even though I feel like his game is really polished. He's had a harder time since the Detroit Pistons haven't put out a good roster for
Detroit
him to
seems all
compete.
over the place. I can't even fully blame him. Detroit's just been
Yep.
all over the place. It's just,
But
you know
I
what
do
they're
like
doing.
I do like Taj Gibson's addition on the team.
Yeah, I do too, but I feel like they need to put more shooters around some of their perimeter scorers. Like Kid,
Bro, I
put
think
a
Troy
shooter around
Weaver.
him.
I think Troy Weaver is the worst general manager in the league. You know, in the trade deadline, I did write articles saying that, I do like some of their moves. But as time has progressed, I can say that I'm disappointed. You traded Marvin Bagley just to waive the 2 players you got in return.
Yeah, and
Not a good look.
and at some point they're gonna have to graduate from being into the lottery every season. You're gonna have to graduate from that
They
at some
should have
point.
graduated a long time ago. I mean, they have the higher chance of drafting what's the fella's name again? Alexander Sarr. But other than that, they don't move me.
Yeah, but what's the point of drafting high if you haven't shown in the past couple of years you have a development strategy and you have a strategy to build this team? Like,
They
this
don't
is
have
a
a
characteristic
developmental.
of the team. It seems like
They
they're
don't
just
have a
picking.
developmental
Yeah, it
strategy.
seems like they're just picking the best player available.
Yeah, and they're look, the fact damn, why am I forgetting Jaden Ivory?
Mm-hmm.
The fact he's showing frustrations in his second year is not a good look.
Yeah, because he already knows there's no direction.
Yeah.
Every season he comes in right now for the Pistons, they just tell him to score. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's about it.
And,
There's no structure.
the fact Monty Williams himself did not bother to do his homework before the season started, that showed a lot, because it's very clear that he did not look at scouting reports when he was putting on these lineups on the court.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because the last coaching job he had, it was more disciplined. It was like more veterans, but now it's
You had Ricky Rubio, Jay Crowder, Aaron Baines. You didn't really have to put much on the court for you to succeed. You had good veterans who can be coaches on the court. You don't have that in Detroit. They just got Taj Gibson who's been able to do that. But, if they bring him back for coaching, I think this is his last season, but if they bring him back for coaching, that's nice. But other than that, they got nothing, bro. They don't have any veterans outside of him, and which they should have gotten a long time ago. They don't have anything to offer, and that's a problem for Detroit.
I see that. Yeah,
what do you have that can help these guys push?
Yeah, they give up a lot of current assets for win now moves, or just like getting better now moves, and none of those first round picks that they sent away, none of that shit worked.
Like, you can trade Isaiah Stewart, but what value are you getting in return? Because I don't see teams willing to keep a head case.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just. I mean, you ask yourself, if you have a young team, do you want a young player coming out of that losing Detroit culture? Like, I'm not sure about that.
No, it's not good. And that's the thing. I think Cade Cunningham has made him one of the most underrated players out of the young guys because of that, bro. He's in a shitty situation, which is why people are gravitating towards the other guys. You look at Franz Wagner, a lot more people are going to gravitate towards him when the playoff time comes, because he's going to be such a star. Paulo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, these guys are all from like the similar time.
Yeah, and then what went down with Killian Hayes? He got dropped. He got dropped faster than a rapper in a record label. Like, what's going on?
I mean, dog, that waiver was shocking, bro. And and it's clear because like no team has picked him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do their future is done. But you want to talk about the playoffs? How it's shaping up in your opinion? Because that's how you put out the bracket.
Yeah, but hold on. I wanted to cover this because you just mentioned about teams picking up players. Did you see the rumor that like one of the NBA front office people said he wouldn't be shocked if someone drafts Bronny anyway. Because
Oh, that's another great topic.
yeah, like that's crazy. Like he said, let me go to the quote here.
I don't know why we didn't talk. That's one of your main points. I thought it was really interesting, but I don't know why we didn't talk about it yet.
Yeah, he says yeah, the fact that teams can actually get LeBron James, they might take the chance and just draft Bronny. And one thing to think about here is that the net worth of the teams, it does rise when LeBron James goes there. I think when he went back to Cleveland, their net worth drove up like hundreds of millions of dollars, including the personal net worth of Dan Gilbert. That shit jumped up.
Bro, because people are buying tickets to Cleveland. People are traveling and investing in the local economy. I get all that. But, bro, Bronny James, you take that kind of gamble, right? Bron is going to be in the league for 2 years. If you're going to waste a second pick, by all means do it, right? But is it smart for LeBron and Bronny? Because LeBron is... I don't see LeBron thinking about his own personal brand in this regard. I think more of sort of like setting his son up for failure. So I could see Bronny kind of playing a role in telling the son to be like, telling his son that, yo, you should stick to your university. I think that's the best way to go about it, is have him stick to his university. If LeBron can't reach his milestone, then it sucks. It would have been cool to see, but
wait, what is his milestone? Playing with his son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought his milestone was 6 rings or something.
Oh no, that's impossible at this point. Yeah. But that would be one hell of a milestone, man. I think you and I can agree on that, even though it's meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
But as I guess as a family, or you can make a Disney film good moment out of it. It would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like some magical story bullshit. But at the end of the day,
yeah, some like High School Musical.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the direct to TV Disney movies?
Nah, I used to never really watch Disney like that. But
I'm giving you just an example.
Yeah.
The Hallmark movies and stuff.
Oh yeah, it seems like one of those type of movies, like the way this is playing out. But they can make it happen. I think the advantage is in their court to make this happen. But the fallout after, especially for Bronny, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty, because
he's going to see himself out the league.
Yeah, he's not good enough to really be in the league.
No,
but this hold on. But this will be the first time we'll see someone not actually qualify to being an NBA player, and they just automatically get picked. Like, this shit is going to make the NBA look like WWF. I'm not going to lie.
It is, bro. Because you
WWE.
Remember how much criticism like J. Cole, the idea of like J. Cole or Master P coming to the league?
Yeah. I'm
surprised it hasn't got the same scrutiny.
Yeah, it seems a little too gimmicky at this point.
It is gimmicky. Like I'm telling you, bro, it's a Disney movie. It's like the straight to DVD shit you could find at Walmart for $5 kind of shit.
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
right.
thing, man.
Oh my god, this shit is too gimmicky, man. Like it was bad enough when LeBron was like walking to the game with wine and fucking and laughing with the owner, and the owner talking about, you seen when Jeannie Buss said the Warriors gave her a call about LeBron, and she said, oh yeah, speak to LeBron. I'm like, what kind of shit is that?
Jeannie Buss is incompetent, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's up to Jeannie. It's up to Jeannie to trade his ass. It's not up to him. Like, it
also,
makes the league look very gimmicky. Oh, and hold on. And the refs account apologized to LeBron James. I think last season, when they made the mistake in the Celtics game, the official NBA referee account apologized to it tweeted at LeBron James.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm just like, yo, this looks very, very scripted, man. What is this shit?
Bro, fuck, man. I don't have any words to say right now, bro.
Yeah, that shit just slipped your mind.
I mean, dude, I never really thought of that, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, man, I had to screenshot that shit. The official NBA, the NBA official referee account apologized.
I don't know why we
James.
didn't put that in the. I don't know why we didn't put that in the notes, man.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, we could talk about it next time, man. But yeah, the officiating in the league right now, it's a mess. It's a mess, and the gambling. Did you see the numbers of the amount of money that was gambled just by last year? You had like one state. I think New York State had like $20 billion, and there were other states that had like 8, 9, 4, 5, 6 billions gambled per state. That's crazy. Like, can you imagine how much that money the NBA is making off of that shit? The NFL,
Bro.
all the other leagues. There's
They're-
major money at stake with that shit, but at the same time, the NBA and the referees, the officiating looks funny right now. It looks
Yeah.
funny. It looks funny, and the NBA, all of a sudden now on their app, they want to add like a gambling feature where you could bet on the NBA TV app.
And with the Dallas Mavericks in their recent sell.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a gambling move.
Yep.
They're definitely trying to get a casino down in Texas, and they probably know like something is happening, like legislation is about to pass something. They know something.
Bro, I see that because in like Livingston has a casino, right? And I see it being promoted on the highways and stuff. So they're going towards that direction.
Where down in Houston, you seen it promoted?
Yeah, Nasbilla, I believe, in Livingston.
Mm.
And that's not far from Houston.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But yeah, things are looking a little funny in the light with the officiating. The league got to tighten up with that because a lot of the calls are inconsistent, especially. There's been too many instances this year. You got teams that are tanking, their coaches are bitching. Teams that are good, their coaches are bitching. The way the Knicks game ended in Houston, that looked crazy. That looked scripted. Like what the hell was that? You know, it's just it's like almost every 2 weeks there's a brand new incident. Mike Brown, he took his laptop to the press conference and was pointing shit out. I mean, this thing is getting out of hand.
Monty Williams in his fight.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's just like you could do, if you was making a basketball rap album, you could have all these like shits as skits, man.
Yeah.
How many events that happened this year? And then the refs getting scared of the star players. Remember in the beginning of the year, they were kicking guys out. One little argument, they kicked the star player out the game. I was like, what is up with that? Like, it didn't make any sense.
Too much power, man. I think these refs are gambling, bro.
Nah, I don't think they're gambling. I think the league is keep tweaking the rules a little bit, and the refs are not catching up fast enough.
Adam Silver is incompetent, man. I always felt that.
I don't think he's incompetent. I think he's tweaking the rules to make the game very watchable on television. That way they can get more money on the new TV contracts. I think that's what they're doing. Because there's a lot of money at stake here. I mean, because you can see it from the Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul on Netflix. And then look how they advertised it. A global event. So it's almost like a global pay-per-view. So
this not only extends to NBA, but this.
Hold on. Let me just land on this point. Adam Silver during the All-Star game, right? When he had his presser, he kept talking about the league broadcasting itself. He kept mentioning the audience is global, the players global. He kept emphasizing that everything was global. It was to be broadcasted in any activity. Our stadiums global. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they already understand streaming means big time money because you're all over the world. So even though Americans find the All-Star game boring, they're not gonna find it boring in China. They're not gonna find it boring maybe in France,
Dubai.
Yeah. So that's how the league is thinking. So when you think of it like that, there's billions of dollars at stake here.
But I think that's what pissed him off. You remember at the end of the All-Star game how pissed he was?
Yeah. He was mad.
It indicates because, I think this not only goes to NBA, NFL, WWE, UFC. They're all looking at these streaming services as possible. We could transcend. Like the NBA, TNT games are broadcasted in HBO Max. You look at Amazon. They're broadcasting NFL games.
Yep. And the NFL got $100 million for the wild card weekend. Or just one day of the wild card weekend. The NBA can get equal amount of money. They might not get $100 million, but they can get $50 million for the dunk contest on Saturday night.
Yep.
Like, this is how Adam Silver's trying to position these events. The All-Star game is a package. It could be on HBO Max. Like, they're trying to broadcast this in this type of way. Like, they're trying to pitch it in this type of way. So there's a lot of money at stake, and for the players not to take the All-Star game serious, that shit was crazy.
I agree, bro.
Crazy, man. I was like, I didn't even understand that.
You want to talk about a field goal moment that just happened? I saw on my timeline just now.
What is it?
Isaiah Thomas, he's back.
Oh yeah, IT getting another chance.
I'm happy for him. I wish him well, bro.
Yeah, the league, the talent pool is so crazy now that
Yep.
a lot of guys that are good, like John Wall, they're just all sitting in free agency.
Yeah.
Boogie
No,
Cousins.
I remember I was watching Barstool. They were interviewing, I think, Peyton Pritchard, and they recruited Blake Griffin, but it seems like Blake doesn't want to come back.
Yeah, what is he doing? He's retired?
I guess he's semi-retired. He said, "I'm not interested in coming back." The Celtics have given him a call.
He doesn't want to play for the Celtics, or he doesn't want to play in the NBA.
Doesn't seem like he wants to play in the NBA.
I wouldn't be shocked, but at the end of the day, these guys now, they're gonna have way more avenues, especially the players like Luka, Jason Tatum. They're gonna make more than enough money to retire probably by age 33, man. To be honest with you, if they're not in love with the game or they get injured a type of way, I wouldn't be shocked if like a major superstar just abruptly retires like Michael Jordan.
I mean, dog, do you blame Blake Griffin?
He made a lot of money though.
He made a lot of money. He's gonna become a Hall of Famer like 30 years down the line when we're old. He's not a first ballot, but he's probably gonna, just for the 5 years he had, he will make it in because of how easy it is to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But
hold on. But speaking about, well, I want to say future Hall of Famers, because I know Kawhi Leonard will be there. But did you see like the rumor of the 76ers sort of looking at this Paul George situation and with the Clippers? Like they still haven't come to an agreement on a contract extension, which is interesting.
They want to see how the playoffs go for for Paul.
Yeah, but you seen the recent injury with Kawhi Leonard? He couldn't even sit down on the bench.
Yeah.
What if Paul George really knows what's going on with Kawhi and now he's gonna be looking for a way out? Because it's interesting he didn't resign yet.
It's not far-fetched.
Yeah, because everybody knows Steve Ballmer got the money.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think Kawhi for Paul, right?
Mm-hmm.
The possibility is either Indiana or it's Philadelphia.
Indiana or Philadelphia? Nah, I think it's gonna be Philly.
What about Oklahoma?
Maybe, who knows? Maybe even OKC. But Indiana, I feel like the way Tyrese has been playing as of late, I think Indiana got brought back down to earth because I don't think 100%. Any superstar is gonna go there with Tyrese going 1 of 18 or whatever the fuck it is. That shit is just crazy.
And my bad for cutting you off. What were you saying, bro?
Oh, you didn't hear me just now?
No, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said basically Indiana been brought back down to earth.
Oh no, I'm talking about before we were talking about Paul George and the possibility of them leaving.
Nah, I mean I said what I had to say. I honestly don't remember.
Bro, but they're in a situation. They're interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting, but Steve Ballmer got a new stadium. I just still don't get. He has the money. He has a new stadium, so we all know he needs Paul George. So why hasn't the contract been worked out already? That shit is weird.
Bro, hypothetically, a contract does work out. He's not getting a long-term deal.
Yeah, but the thing is, what if another team wants to give him that? Because we all know I think the 76ers would give him that.
The 76ers have to give it to him.
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Some players, they have more leverage than what they're really worth. Because you look at Klay Thompson, even if the Warriors don't want to pay him, he's not going to get the max money or whatever, or a large contract like before. But let's say they didn't want to pay him $27 a year. I feel like another team in the NBA, they would meet him in the middle. They would pay more money than that.
Yep.
And there might even be a team willing to pay him 41. It's rumored right now, a team that needs shooting, the Orlando Magic, that we spoke on before, they're looking for Klay. So Klay has that leverage on the Warriors. Like, hey, you guys, even though we're in luxury tax right now, I got another team offering me the money that I want.
You don't think Golden State will try to be in that fight?
If it's, oh man, if he gets, it's sort of a similar situation to Jeremy Lin, how he left the Knicks. It's almost like if you get outbid, you're not willing to go that deep. You're just not willing to go that deep. The
They were
Warriors,
just in a
the Warriors right now are already in the luxury tax. They're already in the
yeah.
second apron. So I don't know.
And it seems like Philadelphia's giving up on the season, bro.
I don't think they gave up. I just think their team has a lot of holes. It
They're
just got
filling it in with
exposed.
10-day contracts right now.
Yeah, but their team outside of Embiid, man, it has a lot of holes.
Tobias Harris hasn't been that guy they wanted him to be.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of contract he's gonna get in the offseason. Because he is a good piece for the right team.
You think a team like Detroit would go get him?
It depends how much. I mean, some of these teams like the Spurs, they're gonna have enough cap space.
You're gonna have to pay him sexy, bro.
I mean, I think a team like the Spurs could. The Spurs need to get better, man, because Wemby's
now.
Yeah, Wemby is looking like, he want the Michael Jordan portfolio.
Bro, he's special.
Yeah, man, he might be more savage than some of these guys like Edwards and the other players. I think he sees himself 10 times higher than those guys.
Correctly so.
Yeah. I think
Bro,
he wants to stand above the whole league. Like he really wants like LeBron's position.
He's special.
Yeah. But Chet is gonna have a head start ahead of him, man, because Chet got a squad.
Bro, man, he's fortunate enough. I think guys like, bro, look, there's some guys you can tell it's gonna take them time to figure out winning. And what's it called again?
But with Wemby, I mean,
it seems like he doesn't need time to figure out winning.
Yeah, he doesn't need time because as long as you provide him decent pieces, it seems like he can bring him somewhere. And like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if this guy is looking to have a Michael Jordan portfolio, man. As far as his name in the NBA, I think he's trying to be the face, bro. I'll be honest with you. If you look at the way he moves, he's looking like he's trying to be the face, man.
He has a possibility. He's talked about it, how he wants to. He's talked about wanting to be Defensive Player of the Year next season.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy that he basically almost qualified it for this season. It's the only reason he doesn't because the Spurs suck.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, I think now the whole experimental with Sohan, it isn't working. They're gonna have to move on from that.
Mm-hmm. Now the thing is, I want to say this. Oh wait, go ahead. I'll let you finish your point. My bad.
Yeah, but it isn't working. You kind of need them competent players, and I think back to what we were talking about. Young guys, you can tell needs to figure out how to win, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to change the topic, but like Victor Wembanyama is a guy that you can see that he doesn't need to learn how to win. Where like compared to other young guys we've seen, they kind of had to figure out how to win. You and I, we talked about it a lot. Last podcast, we talked about what's the guy? Anthony Edwards. He has times where he's struggling to close out.
Correct.
Brandon Miller is another guy who seems like he's good as an individual player, but it'll take him time to figure it out. Same with Lonzo Ball. We talked about obviously Jalen Green. There's a lot of young guys, right? He is not in that category, bro.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not. He has all the physical tools, the intangibles, along with the tangibles. Like he could pass.
He understands winning culture, man.
Yeah, he does it all. But is it the Spurs' way for them to rebuild fast? Remember, this is a mom and pop franchise, and usually they had their stars like Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan take pay cuts, and they took their time. They drafted guys. They didn't overpay for guys. Do you think Wemby has patience for all that? I
think Timmy D's situation is very different. You remember, Timmy D came at the time when San Antonio and Duncan Robinson. No, why am I saying Duncan? When David Robinson had that major injury, right? Mm-hmm. Let me check which season. You remember he was out for a whole season, and that is why they tanked for Tim Duncan.
True.
And then when he came, they were right then and there 2 years later, 97 season, yes. Robinson got hurt in December, which led them to get drafting Tim Duncan. And then 2 seasons later, they won a championship. So I think his situation is different in that regard. I think Tim Duncan was drafted into a team that needed a guy who can push that could have been in the finals with David Robinson. But unfortunately, David got injured. and Tim Duncan was able to quickly become that franchise guy. I think that's a very similar situation, not team wise, but I think that's a similar situation. Victor Wembanyama as an individual player.
Mm-hmm. But once again,
I don't know if you feel the same way, but
I feel like, yeah, I agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is that the Spurs right now, it's almost like Wemby joined this team while they're at the basement. You know, they're all in the basement right now. They're like, hey,
yeah.
Wemby, we're trying to rebuild. Wow, you're automatically our best guy. But they're not used to spending money, like going on a free agency, buying guys out. They're not used to doing that. So now we're gonna see San Antonio. Can they adapt and become one of these new teams that, you know, go out and spend money? Because right now in the league, in the past 5 years, we've seen the Minnesota Timberwolves become high spenders. We've seen new owners come in.
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, Phoenix Suns. The Clippers. All of a sudden, the Clippers are big spenders. And now, little old San Antonio down there in Texas, man, they've been chilling, you know, riding horses, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you guys gotta compete with these guys now and all this tech money.
Yeah. So, and you don't think Tillman Fertitta, and you know, you look at neighboring Texans teams. Dallas they got a new bank now. Dallas is rich now. Tillman Fertitta, he wants a championship, man. He wants a brand new championship. He's a guy who wants to make money, and the way he sees making money, it's having a good team.
Mm-hmm. And Greg Popovich has shown that he could adapt. I'm not sure if he's the president of the team, or like the team general manager, but
he's influential.
Yeah, he's influential. But at the end of the day, man, I know the culture around with the Spurs is mom and pop. It's sort of almost like a military, kind of military-based type culture. But can they adapt with the new teams where it's like, hey, let's drop $50 million. Hey, let's give this person a $200 million contract. Let's go after this player. Can they, speed up the process? Because Wemby, man, Wemby's like a Gen Z, man. He's not gonna wait around for the San Antonio way.
But nobody does that anymore.
I'm like, but hey, we don't know that for a fact with the Spurs. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah. They've had the same coach for since the 90s. You know what I mean? This is a mom and pop. Like I said, because San Antonio has a bunch of military bases. There's an army type culture down there. Kind of one unit. Nobody's bigger than the logo. And, can Wemby actually, in a individual star-driven era, can he, Wemby's actually a bigger name, just almost as big as the Spurs right now. Can they compete with that? Are they willing to adapt as a franchise?
Yep.
And I don't know.
You saw that with Dallas. For the longest time, they were mom and pop. Dirk Nowitzki, you had Donnie Nelson Jr. and Rick Carlisle running everything and all that good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dirk was a guy who, he didn't mind. He cared about competing. He didn't really want to get into locker room or front office politics. And so now when Luka came, you kind of saw him butting heads with Rick Carlisle. You kind of saw
butting heads.
You kind of saw him looking at Donnie Nelson and thinking, yo, his way of building a team is outdated. So they were forced to get a guy like Nico Harrison, who is a Hollywood type of executive, Nike executive, a guy who had a relationship with Kyrie Irving, which is why I think one of the reasons why Kyrie is still on the team and hasn't made a fuss is because Nico Harrison's a guy he's known since he was 20.
Yep.
And Jason Kidd, a guy that Luka looked up to, and a guy that number one, Luka, Kyrie, most importantly, looked up to him. I think maybe Luka looked up to him. I don't want to be confident on that. But one thing for sure is he's Dallas. He played in Dallas. He, when you talk about Jason Kidd's career, you have to bring up Dallas championship and his early career in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like you were saying, these new GMs, these new presidents, they're more relationship based guys. Like the Golden State Warriors, I think were the first ones to pull that off with their former GM. Yeah, he had a lot of relationships, and
Bob Myers.
Yeah, the Knicks now are in that phase with Leon Rose. Yeah, so can the Spurs? Yeah, can the Spurs adapt to the 21st century? I feel like when you go to San Antonio, these guys still are running Ethernet cords and have no Wi-Fi. I feel like that franchise needs an update. They're too stuck in the Alamo or some shit.
what is the thing called in the in the 90s or 80s when like you try to connect to the internet and there's like a noise?
Yeah, I
They're
feel
still
like
stuck on that.
I feel like they run their videos through AOL or some shit. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Like, can San
bro.
Antonio adapt with all
Like even
these new
Charlotte
tech
Hornets are
owners?
adapting right now, bro. Even Charlotte's adapting.
Yeah, they have no choice. But all the old NBA owners who don't have money, who are cheap, they're gonna get phased out of the league, man. They're gonna
Genie's
get
seen it,
phased out. They
bro.
can't compete.
Genie's seen it,
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Jeannie Buss eventually sells the team. I wouldn't be
bro.
shocked.
Bro, the Lakers are way too expensive for her, man.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, it's something about second generation, you know, the kids, the owners. Like you see with the Yankees, it's not the same. It's like
No.
it's definitely not the same. And the father is the one that had the vision.
Yep.
The
And,
kids
you
the
know,
kids took over with no vision. They have
and
no
you
vision.
talked about you were talking about LeBron and Jeannie. I think what she wants to do is recreate that image
Which is
that
bad.
her father had with Magic and Kobe. If that I don't know if that made sense, but I think she wants to recreate that where, you know, where Dr. Jerry Buss and Kobe or Magic, they have that tight relationship. But I think one of her problems is Dr. Jerry Buss was a ruthless man. Like when you looked at his track record and how he viewed basketball, he was ruthless.
Yeah, but and another thing is that he
Genie's
was
not ruthless.
yeah, Jeannie's more of the business side to the business, to basketball. She needs someone. She can't keep hiring people that she only knows. The Lakers are gonna have to hell. Who
Kurt
knows?
Rambis, Phil Jackson.
Yeah, or they may have to give good old Pat Riley a call.
Bro, Pat's not leaving. Yeah,
He's probably not leaving Miami, but hey, they need someone like that. They need
bro. I
someone
think
like
what
that. Because Pat Riley, this whole time in Miami, he's been running that ship with an owner who doesn't like to spend. Imagine if he goes to the Lakers and these guys can spend. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
Pat
dude,
can make something happen.
and I have to question Rob Pelinka too. I know he's like the Hollywood exec, but my thing is he limited because of the money, or what is the scene with him? Because there's no way a guy who has this much connections isn't getting more better players. You know,
I feel like we could properly judge Rob Pelinka when LeBron leaves, because the fact that LeBron is there, he's the Thanos. No matter who you try to get, he's gonna suck the energy, and some people are not gonna be attracted to being another ring on the finger of Thanos. So once LeBron leaves, that's when the Laker market could open up to someone else coming in.
Let me give you one example, right? Rob Pelinka represented James Harden. Why didn't James Harden list Rob Pelinka as one of the destinations, the Los Angeles Lakers, when he was demanding out?
Hey, you could ask the same question about Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. These guys had LA on their list. As soon as LeBron went there, LA was no longer on the list.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying is right now, right? You know, I think the idea of playing with Anthony Davis or LeBron James, it should be somewhat attractive, right? I mean, even if they don't want to play with him, you usually put on a list to like give your front office the pressure, right? Because front offices don't want to trade with the Lakers to begin with, so there's that, right? You should have at least put in like you know how teams tend to just put in players tend to just put in random ass teams to like put pressure on the front office that I'm available for this team, that team, and that team, but they have one agenda. I'm surprised he didn't even list out the Lakers in that.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. But
and Rob was his guy. Rob was a guy who was in general. I'm not saying it's weird, man, because we were talking about celebrity execs, right? Or I guess you could put Hollywood execs is the best way to put it, with like Leon Rose and Rob Pelinka, Bob Myers, and Worldwide West, Nico Harrison. You'd think he'd be one of them that was able to get names because of how much connections he's built throughout 20 years of being an agent, representing so many players. Like, I think once LeBron becomes an owner of a team, you're going to see the same thing with Rich Paul.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, LeBron, the way he was talking on his new show with JJ Redick, he said, when I become an owner. It's almost like this shit's already done, set, and sealed.
Yeah, but I wonder if LeBron, dude, he's going to face the Michael Jordan stigma, man.
I don't think so. They're a little bit more they're a little bit more business savvy. I would say LeBron has gotten a longer crack at being business savvy because of the landscape that Michael Jordan created for him. See, that's the point. LeBron is supposed to create a landscape where now the players, the next superstar could not only play and make more money than LeBron, he could actually be in better position to be an owner. That's LeBron's job.
You think goats in their era, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about LeBron, Magic and Michael. They weren't good at evaluating talent.
I feel like you see, if LeBron strikes me, LeBron's super smart, man. He strikes me as a person that's off rip. He's not gonna try to act like he building a team. He's just gonna pay someone to do that.
Okay, yeah, that I respect. But if remember, who was it? Shabazz Napier. That was one of LeBron's most famous tweets.
Yeah, but that's LeBron talking shit though. Like, I feel like sometimes he be trolling with that. But a person who thought that they could evaluate talent that's a GOAT is Michael Jordan, and he cannot.
Yeah.
He cannot. He does not. He's not good at that. And he
Kwame
shouldn't be.
Brown, Adam Morrison, Sean Elliott, I believe the guy's name was.
Yeah. If you're Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron, if you're like the gifted, you can't be evaluating talent to build a
Magic
roster.
Johnson couldn't do it.
Yeah, and it can't be coach either. A coach has to be a role man. You know, a person that maybe he was a superstar, but then he got injured and became a role man, then a journeyman. Those type of players that
a guy who had to figure out a role.
Yeah, to stay in the league. Yeah,
Tyronn Lue.
They can be good coaches.
Tyronn Lue, Adrian Griffin, Darvin Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I forgetting names?
Because you know why those coaches are good coaches? Because they had to search for things outside of the game to make sure that they're good enough to still be in the game.
Of course.
Yeah, so they had to squeeze every juice out of those lemons. And LeBron
Ty
James
for 2001 finals made it his job to guard Allen Iverson.
Yeah, LeBron James, Kobe, Michael Jordan, they never had to do that. They were automatically gifted. So,
you know, one guy I thought would have figured it out as a head coach would have been Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher. Yeah.
I thought he would have been a great coach.
Me too.
I always thought.
Yeah, I always thought he would be a good coach. I mean, he has the experience, and he's been to the finals, like 4 times.
And he's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Phil Jackson, him taking that job with Phil Jackson kind of fucked him up.
Yep, it screwed him over because even when he took the LA Sparks job, it seemed like he couldn't do it. Ewing tried. I'll give respect to Ewing, but it seemed like Ewing figured it out as an assistant coach. I have to give him credit.
Yeah, sometimes you're not really made to be the head coach. Like
Ewing tried. I think Ewing got fired from Georgetown after trying in the NBA. He tried for the Knicks job so many times, and obviously Knicks fans, I don't blame them. They all wanted him to get the job, but I bet now looking back on it, they're probably like, oof, thank God. Yep. Yeah, man, but yo,
this has been good. This has been good.
Let's a night before the play-on, and we'll do like a first round prediction. I think that would be really fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. That sounds lit. That's a really good idea.
Because by then we're not gonna talk about the Pistons, and maybe we'll even probably move on from the Lakers too, if we're being honest.
Thank God, yeah, because they'll be eliminated.
Bro, come on, man. Let's be honest, bro. We spent a lot of portions talking about the Lakers, bro. It's even if you hate the Lakers, you end up talking about them, bro.
Yeah, because it's so heavily promoted.
Yep. So I think by then we'll figure out what team makes it, what team doesn't. Which team, the kind of the play, like Chicago Bulls, Indiana Pacers, kind of see how they fit within the play-in and how they'll fit against, the top seed. The Sacramento Kings, if they can make a jump. Phoenix Suns, a wild card in the playoffs. Will Denver repeat? We're gonna have a lot of fun, bro.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna be one of the most fun episodes we have out of every episode. Out of 3 or 4 episodes we've done, that will be our best episode.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a great idea. Yo, you guys definitely check out Syed's newsletter, his Substack. I'll include it in the description and the link below.
And subscribe to Orange Cookies, one of the best channels, bro.
Yo,
easily one of the best channels, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for promoting, man.
Yo, definitely.
100%, bro.
Yeah. All right, definitely, Syed. Stay up. Appreciate you. It's been dope.
Take care, brother.
All right. Peace.